Hi, and welcome to Boss Wife. I am your host, Ebony. Here is where you will get your motivation for the week. Here is where you will get your tools and tips to learn how to play, laugh, and live hard, unapologetically. Here is where you will learn how to erase the lines of the box because you realize you cannot be contained. Here is where you will learn how to show up for yourself. Here is where the most powerful transition will begin in your life. Welcome to Boss Wife. Hey everybody, welcome back to Boss Wife on tonight. So I hope the kids are in bed, the pets are put up, you're cleaning, cooking, or prepping for your day tomorrow, that you are ready to listen, to learn, to grow, to expand, and to fulfill the next part of your journey with me on tonight. So tonight we're talking about facing fear, right? And the fear of facing fear. So it's very important to know what you are afraid of, because I think sometimes we put things there that aren't really there. And I think that's 90% of the time. And it really holds us back from being great. It holds us back from conquering, everything that God has set before us. It holds us back from achieving great things in our families. It holds us back from achieving a great lifestyle or the lifestyle that we want. So that is what we want to talk about tonight. And I hope you guys are ready. So diving right in, why do we live in why do we live in fear? When living in fear, we often also are living in either the past or the future. We let our past mistakes haunt us, and it affects our future decisions, right? So we live in so much fear of what could happen that we forget to enjoy what is happening. I think it was Tony Robbins who says the past does not equal the future unless you live there. So obviously we don't live in our past. So in living in your future, you have to control and you have to take control of your emotions, because that's all fear is. It's an emotion, and it's a illusion of a emotion, right? So your fear might help you to recognize when you're about to do something dangerous. It could help you to make a safer choice. If you find that your fear holds you back or creates bigger problems in your life, facing your fear may help you learn to better cope with fear and ultimately overcome it. How are you coping with your fear? Like, what are you doing to control that emotion that is running rampant and holding you back from doing everything great that you were set out to do? So we set goals, we set these high expectations of ourselves, and then we put limitations on ourselves, which is holding us back from achieving those great things. Have you ever considered why you do that? Have you ever considered what was the purpose behind that? Have you ever stopped to consider how great you would be if you did not fear? So the process of facing fear is called exposure. Exposure involves gradually and repeatedly going into featured situations until you feel less anxious. Exposure is not dangerous and will not make the fear worse. And often there's nothing standing in your way. There's nothing blocking you. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. There is nothing holding you back but you. And we are okay with this action. I don't understand why we're not okay with other people telling us what to do. We're not okay with other people holding us back. We're not okay with, stumbling blocks, and, when there are things in front of us, physical things that we can see in, I guess, I don't know, not spiritual, but like things that are there that we can't see, that are like grants or education, like things like that are really standing in front of us, that are really blocking us and keeping us from that. Like, we have an issue with that, and we tackle that, but we don't tackle that emotion. We have strength to pray things off. We have the wisdom to avoid things. We are strong when it comes to the hard things. We tackle things. We take things head on, but yet we allow certain simple things to fall to the wayside because we are afraid of failure. We are afraid of uncertainty, loneliness, change, loss of freedom, being judged, getting hurt. Like, what is it really about those things that is going to break you? Yes, loneliness hurts. Yes, uncertainty is uncertain. Failure, there's no such thing as failure. It's only a different way of doing things. Loss of freedom, unless you're going to jail, which you should not be doing anything to make you go to jail. You won't be great. You won't be a boss. You won't be a leader. That's not setting a great example. So that's the only thing that can take your freedom. So as far as loss of freedom, there's nothing that can take your freedom. There are things that can bound us, yes. But guess what? If you're married, you're bound to somebody. If you're in a relationship, you're bound to somebody. If you're on a job, you're bound to that job. There are a lot of things in life that we choose to be bound to. Whatever frees you, binds you. So regardless of what you think, you don't want, I can't let the man hold me down, or I can't be, chained to one job, or I can't do this. Like, regardless of what you think is going to take your freedom, whatever freed you binds you. Remember that. So it doesn't really matter that even if you own your own business, you're bonded to that business. Like, that's what's tying you up. That's what has you in shackles or chains or whatever. Like, it really doesn't matter. It's just a figure of speech. It's just what people say. It's not a real thing. It's okay to be tied up into something. It's okay to be shackled to something. I'm married 16 years strong. Like, I have 4 children. I'm shackled to my children. Like, it is okay to be tied to something, but make sure it's worth your time. Make sure that it's definitely developing you. Make sure that it is going to better you. If it does not, we say this all the time, if it does not better you, if it does not motivate you, if it does not bring anything to the table, if it is not making you excel to the next level of life, I was gonna say regret it, but just lose it. Like, forget it. Like, just move on, let it go. Cut that. Like, that's the chain you need to cut. Don't worry about anything else. The thing that's holding you back, this is what we are calling fear. That's what you need to let go. Let go of fear. My favorite is fear of inadequacy. Like, that was one of my biggest things. I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I always felt like I wasn't smart enough. I always felt like, that everybody else was better than me. And I am so extremely talented in anything that I do, anything that I go forth in, and nobody else can do what I do. So therefore, that fear of feeling inadequate is an illusion. That was me. That was me making it up. That was me feeling like, I couldn't do it. Somebody else was going to do a better job. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to judge me. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall flat on my face. Guess what? So did every millionaire, every billionaire. They all fell flat on their face. They all started over. They all filed for bankruptcy 5 or 6 times. They just changed the name. So if they can do it, you can do it too. It doesn't really matter what people say. And I think we get hung up on it a lot. We focus on what other people say. That can't be your fear. That can't be your crutch. That cannot be what's keeping you tied up to something that you regret and something that you don't want to do anyway. Like, make sure that you are doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you are only going to get to live your life for you. Nobody else can live your life for you. You won't get to live anybody else's life, unfortunately. So focus on you. What's holding you there? Like, what is your main focus? What's keeping you driven? What's driving you? Like, what are you allowing to be your force? I tell you my force. Mine is my family, definitely. Number 1, my children. I want to make sure that I leave them with a legacy. I want to make sure that I leave them with something to look up to, that I'm the mother that they, are striving to be when they grow up, that I'm the woman that my boys want to marry. Like, I want to make sure that whoever I am, they are definitely going to have a hard time finding, right? My second force is me. I need to make sure that I please me. I want to be happy. Forget what, the status quo is. Forget being normal. That's my fear. If you want to know my fear is being normal. I do not want to be normal. I do not want to be, just the average Joe. Like, I am extraordinary, I'm unique. I'm different. I set a trend wherever I go. So I need to make sure that I'm happy, regardless of what it looks like. It doesn't really matter. That's one of my biggest things that I've been learning since owning my own businesses and doing different things is it doesn't matter what it looks like right now. And that's what we need to realize. Like, fear makes you look at things as they are at that very moment. And that's not what's important. What's important is your end game. Like, what's important is what you're trying to get to. What's important is the level of success you want to achieve, not what everybody else says you need to be. It doesn't really matter what people put on you or what people say you should do with your business or what you should do with your family. We all know that. Like, that's why, when you get married, you learn, not to tell your parents everything that goes on in your marriage. When you are in a relationship, you learn that. Like, you don't tell your girlfriend everything that you do with your boyfriend or everything that's going on between you guys. When you're on a job, you don't go to your manager and tell them every single thing that's going on in the common area. Like, if they're not on y'all level, like if they're not that cool, you don't share things. So why are you sharing things about your business? Why are you sharing things about your baby? Like, whatever you're trying to develop, you keep that to yourself. Don't allow people to speak into something that they have no idea about. They don't know your vision. They don't know your goal. And then they're controlling what you do. Like, that's where fear creeps in, because you're listening to everybody else and you're taking on their opinions, and it really doesn't matter. Right? So here are a few tips for you to take control of that subconscious mind that is continually to keep you in turmoil. Okay. Don't figure out things by yourself. Find someone who shares your vision, or just find someone who believes in you. You don't even need somebody who shares your vision, because nobody's going to share your vision. You're unique. You're your own person. Nobody can come up with what you come up with. So find somebody who believes in you. Find somebody who supports you. Find somebody who will always boost you regardless of whatever happens, right? So don't figure things out by yourself. Number 2, be real with how you feel. Self-confession is key. Don't lie to yourself. Girls, we do this all the time. Of course we lie to ourselves all the time. It's okay. It's okay to lie to yourself about certain things, like the little few pounds we put on or, the real length of your hair or, whatever else. I don't know. But, the little white lies that we tell ourselves. That's totally different. If you're going to encourage yourself, totally different. But be real with yourself about the situation. Be real with yourself about whatever you're engaging in. Even in relationships, don't lie to yourself. We're not going to get off on that. I really want to, but I'm not. So don't lie to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be true about the situation that you're in. Be true about, how your business is going. That's the key. Like, if you aren't real with yourself, of course, things are going to, kind of drift off, or things aren't going to be exactly how you want them. They're not going to be real, so make sure that you are staying focused and just keeping the main thing, right? Okay. Number 3, be okay with some things being out of control. Women, another thing we have a problem with. Some men do too, but mostly women. Women love being in control. We love to control the situation. We love to control the outcome. We want to control the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? And that's okay, because that's what makes you a great leader. That's what makes you a great boss, a great manager, whatever you do. That's what makes us great at running a household, because we know how to keep things in control. But you cannot afford to lose control and then allow things to creep in and allow things to come into your subconscious. Like, it doesn't, it doesn't really matter if you go broke, because you're going to make your money right back. Like, that's one thing I don't really worry about is money, because I know, okay, so if I spent this and I did this on this project, then, I'm going to make it back. I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to, go back out and hustle again and do whatever I got to do to get back to where I was. So that's not really a big issue, but just, don't try to control things to the point where it's stressing you out. You're on anxiety medications. You don't know what to do. Your hair is falling out. You're losing weight or you're gaining weight. If you're like me, I eat when I'm stressed. You don't want to do that. So allow things to be the way they are. If you cannot change it physically, why are you worrying about it? Matter of fact, you can't even worry about things that you can't change physically. Like, if you can do something about it, do something about it. But don't sit there and worry about it, because the more time that you waste and you allow things to just fester, the worse it's going to get anyway. Take charge. Be in control of your time. Time management is key of, building anything, building a family, building a business, going to school. Time management is key to life. Like, you want to enjoy life. You don't get those 10 minutes back. Even when I stop to take a breather, I have to, my mind is still going. So I have to make sure, that I'm staying focused on whatever I have going on. Like, on the weekends, if I don't have anything going on with my business, it's my children. I'm focused on them. I got to do what they need or whatever. Of course, we're our children's professional taxis for free. And, you just focus on them. You make sure they're covered. You make sure school's covered for next week. We make sure dinner is ready, whatever, So like, make sure that whatever's in front of you, that's what you're focusing on. That's what you're giving your time to. And don't allow things to get out of control or just lose control of things that you can control, right? So even in that, when you are managing things and you're trying to do something, you're trying to build something, you're trying to grow something, regardless of what it is, make sure that you don't get laxed. Don't do things. Like, don't procrastinate. I used to say that all the time as a child. I am a very big procrastinator. I know that physically and emotionally, but I'm trying not to say it as much anymore because I'm trying not to be a procrastinator. It really doesn't matter. Even if you procrastinate on the smallest things, they grow into big things, and then you have no control. That's when we start fearing and panicking and worrying about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, how did this happen? Don't do it, ladies. Stay in control, but know how to relinquish control at the same time. Don't stress out about things that you can't control or the things that you can control. Take action, right? All right, number 4, practice self-care. We don't have that at all. Like, I get my nails done every 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean I have self-care. Self-care is your mental state, your emotional state, your loving state. Like, how are you taking care of you? Because let's face it, if we don't take care of us, nothing else gets done. The family, we can't take care of our family. We can't take care of our spouses. We can't take care of our jobs or our businesses. We can't do what we're supposed to do. And, I had to have this talk with my supervisor, actually. She didn't want to let me off work for a doctor's appointment. And I told her, I was just like, listen, you can do whatever you need to do, but I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of me, because at the end of the day, if I get sick, if I get put back in the hospital because of my, I have anemia. So I was telling my supervisor, I was having chest pains at work, and I was like, the last time I felt like this, I had to have a blood transfusion, and I just need to get checked out. I just need to make sure everything's okay. And this was like right after COVID. Like, literally, I went back to work that Monday when we got off quarantine that Friday. So I was like, hey, I'm still having some things going on. I need to get checked. And she was like, oh, well, you just got back to work. We really need you, blah, blah. Listen, you can do what you need to do. I'm gonna do what I need to do, because at the end of the day, this ain't my business anyway. And people don't realize we go all out for these jobs. Again, I'm gonna say it again. We go out for these jobs. We put everything into them. We invest everything into them, and they're gonna replace us whenever they get ready, without a shadow of a doubt. They don't blink. They just move on to the next person. But us, no, we take our job seriously. Like, we're devoted. We put in this time. I'm gonna make sure I do my best. I'm gonna make sure I give you my all. So listen, if I need to go get checked out, I can't come back to work and give you my all if I pass out, right? So anyway, self-care. Mentally, women, we need that mental break. Yes, even on the weekends when we're busy, we're running around for the kids. I don't care if you got to put them to bed an extra hour early. Take that extra hour for yourself. I don't care if they're teenagers, because I know, it's totally different getting teenagers in the bed than it is smaller kids. I get that. But listen, you have to do what's best for you. Get stern with those kids. Hey, I need this time. Mommy needs her time. Go to bed, get in your rooms, whatever you got to do. Give them some extra treats to go take to their bedrooms. I know we don't let our kids in the rooms, but whatever we got to do. Like, if you have to get up early Sunday morning and go for a walk, just walk down the street. Whatever you have to do to take care of you, to relax, to let go, to just reconnect to you. Because we don't do that. We don't get to do that a lot. We don't get to reconnect to us. And you will lose yourself if you don't do that, right? Okay, next. Be conscious of your intentions. Don't just throw things together and, say, well, I'm hoping for the best. No, make sure that you are definitely thinking things out, putting things in order, making sure that they are in line with whatever you're trying to do. Okay. Make sure everything has structure. Make sure that you are intentional about whatever you are doing, because if you're not, it is definitely easy to get lost. It is definitely easy to lose control. It is definitely easy not to be motivated or inspired, or, just being driven to do what you want to do. Like, it's easy to not continue to be great if you don't do things on purpose, right? All right, next. Focus on positive thoughts. Well, Yeah, that's easy, right? No, that's what we're talking about tonight. Fear. So here's the thing, ladies or guys, whoever's listening tonight. When you are focusing on your positive thoughts, fear creeps in again because of all of those self-doubts, because of all of those things that we don't know about, because of all of those uncertainties, because of that inadequacy feeling. And it is what it is, right? We have a lot of things that feed into that. We have our upbringing, we have, our childhood, like I said, our upbringing, we have the relationships, past relationships, we have past jobs we've been on, we have past interactions with people that, we've just met or haven't, or just, grew up with or whatever. Okay, so all of that feeds into who we are right now, right? We had to get here some kind of way, right? So in order to regroup and to focus on positive things, you got to learn to let those things go. Like I said, you guys have heard me say plenty of times, when I started my modeling studio, I was proud of the fact that I just had a grand opening. Like, that was it. That was all I did. We had a grand opening in November. Classes started in January. Like, I was blown away that I did it. You got to take that first step. If you don't take that first step, it will never happen. You will, someday yourself to death. Right? You'll someday yourself until you're in a grave. You can't do that. Oh, someday I'll do this, or someday I'll do that, or it'll happen eventually. No, do it right now. Do it today. Guess what? 2021 is almost over. Almost over. That's why we're focusing so much on us. That's why we're focusing so much on building us and building what we're doing and making sure that we have structure to our businesses and families and relationships or whatever. Like if you're going to be a boss, in anything that you do, taking control of you has to start first. You got to take control of your mind. Let the fear go. Fear does not exist. Yes, there's a lot of things that hold us back. Like, I'm preaching to myself as well. There are a lot of different things that we worry about. And I think that's the key. Like, we worry about things because we don't know the other side of it. Well, guess what? A lot of people didn't know the other side of something, and it turned out fantastic. Like, mind-blowing fantastic. Like, they did not know it was even going to be as great as it was because they didn't know it was going to be that good. Like, so I heard what I said. I hope you heard what I said too. But like, seriously, like, you cannot continue to confine yourself. Erase those lines. Who put you in that box? Erase the lines in the box because they don't exist. They don't contain you. You cannot be contained. You can only contain yourself. Right? Next. Okay. Train your brain to stop the fear response. That's what we just said. That's what we just talked about. Okay. So you got to realize, get in that mirror, talk to yourself, tell yourself you're great, tell yourself you can do it, tell yourself you're a conqueror, tell yourself you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. When I pray with my kids every morning, I pray and ask God to bless their hands. Anything that their hands touch, God bless it. Like, let it flourish, let it bloom. Anything that they do today, anytime they pick up a pencil, anytime they pick up a piece of paper, a book, a basketball, a football, volleyball, whatever they do today, let them be great. Anoint their hands. That's what you need to pray. Pray over yourself. Speak it over yourself. Meditate that. And, just allow me to be great. I believe that I'm already great. Give me that extra charisma, that extraordinary excellency that I need to believe in me, or whatever. Like, whatever you need, speak that into your life. Speak it over you. Make sure you do that every day. If you have to write it down so that you can repeat it every single day. Sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. If you're at work, you're getting frustrated, you are having anxiety. I was having anxiety attacks at work. Didn't even know why. Like, I'm like, what is going on? I don't even care about my job like that. Like, it's not, my job isn't hard at all. Like, it's really not. But I was having anxiety because I did not realize that my subconscious was thinking about my fashion show. And I was thinking about everything that went into it. And I was thinking about, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, what I had, what I didn't have, like all the small things. Like, that's what stresses me out. Like, I can get the big things done and out of the way. It's those little bitty, tiny, small things that flusters me every single time. And so I'm sitting here thinking I'm having a full-blown heart attack. Like, seriously, you guys, like, thinking about it now is hilarious because being in the medical field, and I know we're not supposed to do this, but being in the medical field, like, I knew all of my symptoms because I've worked in cardiology, and I was like, wait a minute. my blood pressure's down, heart rate is up, heart rate is down, blood pressure's up. Like everything was fluctuating. And then, I had like this side jaw pain. Then I was like, oh God, did I just taste metal in my mouth? Like I have a metal taste in my mouth. Like my mom was going 100 miles an hour. I'm in full clinic. And I'm like, I'm sitting here having a heart attack. And I didn't tell anybody. I'm at my desk and I kept fanning my eyes because my eyes were getting watery because I really wanted to cry. I was just about to just break down. And I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, where is this coming from? Like, why is my chest hurting this bad? Like, what? And then my husband was like, so we went to the emergency room that night. And this is why me and my office manager had this discussion, because I was like, hey, I need to go see my PCP. I just went to the emergency room. But anyway, we went to the emergency room and he was like, I really think it's stress. And I'm like, I'm not stressed. He was like, I really think it was stress. I'm like, I wasn't doing anything at work. Like I was working. Yeah, I was sitting at my desk and I was doing, I was doing prescriptions or something. And because I was thinking, and I was like, okay, it's not stress because I'm not stressed out. Like, it was this whole scene. But anyway, I said all that to say, train your brain to stop the fear response. Like, don't allow things like that to take control of you. Don't allow things to be buried so deep that you don't even realize you're focusing on them without even focusing on them. Like, and I just didn't realize it, but it's okay. We're human. We're still getting it right. If you wake up tomorrow, you got another day to get it right. You wake up the day after that, you got another day to get it right. It doesn't really matter what you do today, right? It is after 10 o'clock and I'm going to get it right regardless, but it doesn't matter how many times it takes you to get it right. That's what I meant to say. It matters if you get it right, but it doesn't matter how many times it takes you to get it right. As long as you are perfecting it, as long as you are striving for it, as long as you are motivating yourself, you're driving yourself, you got everything in front of you that you're reaching for, you're striving for. We raise our children to do this, but the older we get, we lose it. I think that's hilarious. Like, I talk to my kids all the time about being great, like don't put yourself down. You can do it. Don't let people steal who you are. My baby girl, she was just so into herself. And now that she has gotten into middle school, it's gone. Like that light, that spunk that she had about herself, that great, just feeling like she was invincible is gone. And I hate to see it because, we got these other little girls who aren't being raised the same way. And so, they don't motivate each other. They put each other down because they're jealous or they're having a bad day or they're upset about something or whatever. But, so I'm sitting here telling her all this and I'm like, Ebony, you gotta tell yourself the same thing. And so that's what we have to realize. Like when we're raising our children, the same thing that we tell our kids every single day, tell yourself the same exact thing every single day. I have to tell my baby boy, behave when you go to school. Guess what? I have to tell myself that at work too. We just got to be real with each other. Like, let's just, keep it real. Like, we raise our kids to think that they are invincible. But the older we get, we lose it. So, don't forget that nobody can do you but you. If you don't do you, you won't be done. We cannot allow other people's fears and their bondage to keep us bonded or bound. Like, release it. Be great. Be who you want to be. Forget those fears because they're all in your head. And guess what? If you fall, if it doesn't work out today, it may work out tomorrow. If it doesn't work out tomorrow, it may work out the day after that. Or you may need to figure out a different way of doing it. And that is okay too. But we can't allow something to hold us back that isn't there. Fear is like having a wolf as a pet, right? Eventually, it's going to eat you alive. You can get it. I mean, you can get it and feed it and keep it in the house all day long. But eventually, when you're not looking, when they catch you slipping, you're gone. That's how fear is. Fear can bind you to the point where you cannot move. Now, when I see a spider, I definitely have fear. Why? I don't know, because I'm 10 times bigger than it. It cannot hurt me. Now, if it gets on me, it could bite me and I not know. But if I'm face to face with it, it can't do nothing to me. I can kill it way quicker, way faster without even blinking. But guess what? Fear paralyzes me when I see those things. I even hate to talk about them. When I see a snake, fear paralyzes me. Fear will take you up out of here before you know it. Fear will make you feel like you're having a heart attack. And that's exactly what I was going through, because first of all, I was afraid to open my mouth. I work in the doctor's office. Like, I should have just said something, but I didn't. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic, because women, you know how we do. Like, we keep it in. Like, okay, I'm good, I'm going to push through, you know. And working in cardiology, that was the first thing we told patients: do not push through. If you feel something, stop. Just stop. But anyway, like, fear will definitely paralyze you. It will take over. Fear will make you feel like you are just nothing. And that's not true. But guess what? Those emotions and feelings came from somewhere else. They didn't come from you. Originally, you thought you were great. You thought you were unstoppable, unbeatable. You thought you were Superman, Superwoman, like, you know, invincible. That's how we all came in this world, because we used to jump off couches. We ran and jumped through walls. We ate everything that we saw in sight. You know, like, we swallowed stuff. I swallowed a whole box of salt. I just remember this. I swallowed a whole box of salt one day. Why? Don't know. Can't even, I can't tell you why. I have no clue. All I remember is drinking the little round iodide salt or whatever it's called. I drank a whole box nonstop, just chugged it. Why? Don't know. All I remember is throwing it right back up. Now thinking back on it, a lot of different medical issues could have came out of that, but it didn't. God kept me. He protected me. One thing I've always heard growing up in church is God protects fools and children. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not in the Bible, but I definitely believe it. But sorry guys, my mic is moving. So like, I drank a whole box of salt. But anyway, when we were children, we thought we were invincible. Somewhere down the line, everybody else's feelings and emotions got deposited into us, and we accept them. Don't accept what people deposit into you. You don't have to allow that. First of all, stop telling them your business. Stop allowing people to speak into anything that you're doing. First of all, that's the first thing. Second of all, find you someone who believes in you, that will motivate you with no strings attached. Unconditional love. Yes, that is hard. Definitely a lot harder when you're an adult to find that friend. But I'm just going to put this out there. Like, I have a great church family. So if you're not in church, good luck to you. Like, that's the best place that's the best place to find someone who supports you and loves you unconditionally. That will just be there for you, regardless of whatever's going on. Because that's what we're trained to do in the church, right? We're trained to be there regardless. We're trained to love each other unconditionally. We're trained to make sure we put others first before us. And, you know, ultimately, that's what we train our children to do too. Ultimately, that's what you end up doing when you become an adult anyway. That's what you do in a relationship. That's what you do in your job. You put everything else before you. So it really doesn't matter where you get that training from. But I'm just telling you, like, if you don't have a good church home, it's going to be pretty hard for you to find that person. But anyway, I'll be your person. So when it comes to fear, accept it, identify it, feel it, face it, and then practice it. So whatever that fear is, that's what you need to practice. That's what you need to put in action every single day. Facing that particular fear, whichever one it is that is keeping you where you are, from opening that business, from writing that book, from starting that bakery, from opening that dry cleaners. Face it every day. Talk to it every day. You know, pray over it every day. Like, just tell it. It has no authority over you. It has no place in your life. You know, we don't accept anything that doesn't make me great. We don't accept anything that is going to hold me down or make me feel like I'm not worth it. I don't accept that at all. I don't accept it from anybody. So I'm not going to accept it from me. But that's a step that we have to build up to. And I get that. So you guys, I really appreciate you guys coming and joining me every Tuesday night. This post was posted a little late tonight because it was my husband's birthday, and I wanted to make sure I took him out for his birthday. So I don't regret that, but I do apologize to you guys for being a little late tonight. But anyways, I thank you guys so much. I love you. You know, I'm here for you. Anything you guys need, reach out to me. I am on all platforms. Anywhere you are, I am. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and respond. Like, don't forget to tag somebody in a post, right? Like, share it, like send it to them. Like, if they need something, if they need encouragement, send it to them. We all know people who need something, right? So anyways, love you guys. Don't forget, if you don't do you, then you won't be done. And I will see you guys next Tuesday.